When did you realize your best friend was your soulmate? The fluorescent lights of the campus convenience store flickered as Caleb and I slung energy drinks to bleary-eyed students at 2 a.m. We were sophomores, bonded by stale donuts and the shared misery of the night shift. His laugh, warm and unguarded, turned restocking shelves into something I looked forward to. He'd cover my shifts during exams, drive me home in his rattling Honda when my car gave out, and spin wild stories about our regular customers to make the hours pass. Even after graduation, when life pulled us to different cities, me to a graphic design job 3 hours away, him to accounting in our college town, we stayed tethered. Daily texts, late-night calls, and visits every few months kept our friendship alive, a constant in a world that felt unsteady. Last April, I decided to surprise him for his 27th birthday. He'd been drowning in work, his voice heavy with exhaustion on our calls, so I baked his favorite snickerdoodle cookies, their warm cinnamon scent filling my kitchen, and grabbed a stack of cheesy horror movies from a gas station. The 4-hour drive to his apartment was filled with anticipation, imagining his grin when I showed up. But when I pulled into his complex, the air shifted. Mrs. Davis, his neighbor, was watering her plants, her face softening when she saw me. Her words hit like a stone. Caleb was at the hospital. My hands trembled as I dialed his number, the phone cold against my ear. He was fine, he said, his voice frayed, but it was Mrs. Lee from 4B. She'd fallen, broken her hip, and suffered a concussion. He'd found her, and he hadn't left her side. I drove to Mercy General, my heart pounding. The ICU waiting room smelled of antiseptic and stale coffee. There was Caleb, unshaven, his button-down wrinkled, hair a mess, clutching a notebook. He was tracking Mrs. Lee's medications, jotties, ing down her lucid moments to ease her confusion, reassuring her about her cat, Mr. Whiskers, whom he'd been feeding. This man, stretched thin by a 50-hour work week, had given 2 days to an elderly neighbor with no one else. I stayed. We took turns at Mrs. Lee's bedside, holding her frail hand when fear clouded her eyes, fetching ice chips, celebrating when she remembered our names. On the third day, as Caleb stepped out for coffee, Mrs. Lee's grip tightened on my hand. Her voice, hoarse but clear, cut through me. She'd been listening to Caleb's stories about me, about my cookies, my laugh, the way I made his worst days better. His face lit up when he spoke my name, she said. That was love. I looked at him, crossing the room with 2 awful hospital coffees and a pack of vending machine crackers, his tired smile breaking through as he saw Mrs. Lee awake. This was the same Caleb who'd shared his lunch in college, driven 6 hours to help me move, remembered I hated strawberry ice cream. But here, giving up his birthday, his sleep, for a woman who could offer nothing back, I saw him differently. My heart ached with a truth I hadn't let myself feel before. He wasn't just my best friend. He was the man I wanted by my side. Always. Mrs. Lee recovered, her Christmas card still arriving like a quiet reminder of that weekend. But it was that moment, in the sterile glow of the hospital, that everything changed. Sometimes, love doesn't shout. It shows up quietly, in the way someone stays when no one else would.